You should have just, like you said, walked away.
Yes.
And when you went to go check on the other one, you should have just lied and say, yeah, like I said.
100%.
Like I said before, you can do this one, you can't do that one.
Yeah. Hi, welcome to the Modern Waiter Podcast. I'm Marlon Joseph, the Modern Waiter, where we discuss all things restaurant business. Learn something. Laugh at something. Today's episode is about the server and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad table. I had an awful experience with a table. The worst I've had in a while. I will tell you all about it, but first, the intro.
Tired of working deadbeat jobs for lame pay. I'm tired of getting fired and hired the same day. If you know the rules of the game, then you'll stay.
As usual, I'm joined by my good friend Danny DeVilla.
What's up, people?
Now, it's important to say we generally don't tell stories on this show. It's, we have commentary on things that do happen, but we don't really get into stories. And so I want to share my successes as well as my failures.
Yeah.
And that's where I find value in even telling this story. And so this was just a few days ago in my last week batch of shifts. I had a pretty bad experience with the table. And so you and I had some shift drinks
we did.
A couple of days ago, and I started to tell you the breadth of it. And
here we are talking about it.
Here we go. When's the last time you felt like a table went sideways on you?
It's been a while.
It's been a while, right?
It's been a while.
Because there's a couple things that happens when you're a seasoned waiter.
Yeah.
You see around the corner, you see things coming. And therefore you can stem the tide on whatever it may be.
Yeah. You can usually fix it before the issue, or you can just kind of walk away from the issue if you need to.
Yes. Very rarely do things fall off the rails.
Do you fall under the ship with it?
Oh, dude. This was a complete train wreck. Disaster.
So how bad did it affect? Did it affect the entire flow of your section completely?
It was on my second turn.
Okay.
Mostly we have 2 turns.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're lucky enough, you have 3, but that requires a very early seating, an immediate seating after that, and you're getting a late seating.
Yeah.
I mean, even at your place, that 3 seatings is,
It's solid.
It's solid. You're killing it if you have like 3 seatings. I mean, I don't know about all the listeners out there, but where we are, generally you get 2 seatings.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could turn a table.
Yeah, you could turn a table or 2 extra, like maybe in the beginning or at the end.
Yeah.
But not a full.
Yeah.
Not a full turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rarely you get the full section, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
And
so if you hit 3, you're golden.
Yes. I had already had a turn on my big top. It was my big top.
Okay.
I had, 9 or 10 people there, and this was my second one. And one thing that I do notice about my restaurant, beginning of the shift, everything goes well. In general, the bussers are there with
they're moving the way
water,
they should. The
they're
flow's
moving
good.
the way they should. And then inevitably, the deeper you get into
the shift,
the
more lackadaisical things get.
I wouldn't even say lackadaisical, because things are happening. It's not like people aren't doing anything. That to me is what lackadaisical is.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's that if you don't have enough really solid follow-up on systems, people tend to, one of my managers called it whack-a-mole. Something comes up, you hit it on the head and hit it down and things like that. And so there's nothing inherently wrong with it, but it tends to show its cracks.
Yeah, later in the shift.
Correct. And so one of the things that did happen, it's our second turn, it was a little bit, I noticed my tables were unbussed or turned over efficiently. Sometimes hosts come by and they might help, but they really aren't trained right to turn a table.
Absolutely.
So I'm not there to figure out what happened, but the table sat without bread plates.
Oh, okay. So the table wasn't set up completely.
The table wasn't set up completely, and it was a big top. So now I'm giving you all the factors, and it wasn't that this table was the worst. They were all demanding. Whenever you have a large party, you have more and more people that want
they need
stuff.
things.
They
want and need things.
They want and need things. So they're going to tell you this and that. And the most efficient way to do it is to take everything at once.
Yeah.
Or give it to me all at once. I come back, oh, I'm going to need butter. I come back, oh, we're going to need this. Oh, and a part of those things like water or bread plates, they requested bread plates for me. And I was like, oh, and I have a full section at this time. And so for me to peel off to do certain things
that
should have already been done already, particularly in the beginning, because a lot of our work is front loaded.
Yeah.
Particularly in the beginning, that starts to A, put you behind, and B, it starts the bad impression of you.
Yes.
Okay? So there we go. They asked me for bread plates, got them bread plates. They asked me for oil and vinegar, get them oil and vinegar. They asked me for butter, get them butter. You know, it was
one thing after another.
I haven't even taken the order yet. Okay? I have not even taken the order yet.
Oh, wow.
A drink order. Oh, I don't know what I want. Some people know what they want. Oh, I'm only going to have this. Oh, I want that. Okay, get them. I come back. Oh, I'll take a wine. Get it? Oh, at one point, I had to peel off and go to my other tables because they need loving too.
Yeah. You can't just forget about them.
You can't just forget about them. And it's not hectic, but it's
weighing.
Yes, it's weighing. Now I got to get this
order. You're feeling the weeds a little bit.
I didn't feel the weeds at any point. I did not feel the weeds at any point. What I did feel was pressure.
Gotcha.
There's a certain amount of pressure that you really have to be on top. We're not here to just give service.
Yeah.
You're here to give excellent service, a good time.
You want to have all the bases covered. Absolutely, I feel you. And if your mental state is a little bit off, like you're saying, like if you're starting to run around and you're not completely focused on everything, then you're off.
Yes.
And that's how things get messed up.
That's how things get messed up. And that I'm glad you said that, because that was one of the factors for me. Mm-hmm. Okay? I started to get a little bit of tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why in a minute. I go to my other tables because one table had already started before them, and so they were getting their food. You want to make sure that they have every little bit, everything's marked and everything like that. My other table is finishing up. And so I have to clear them. You have to be able to, you can't spend, here's the truth. Absolute attention to one thing is total neglect to everything else.
Yes.
And therein lies the problem. Mm-hmm. They were sucking up my attention.
All of it.
Yes.
Because they needed stuff, and it was all separated.
So
you were, every time you thought you were done with this table, they needed something else.
Bro. This description, I have not even taken the order yet. Question after question, which is my job. And so we got some appetizers. I got the appetizer order. And now it's time for the entree order. And I'm going through, yes, I'll take that. Yes, I'll take that. And mostly it's fine. Mostly we're afloat.
Yeah.
And I get one of the first orders I took was a pasta dish, and he was naming off stuff that we don't even do in this pasta dish.
Yeah.
And I was already defeated, right? So I just was, and I said, okay, no problem. I know I shouldn't have put it in the way it did. I knew damn well.
You knew you should have done that way.
I had to try, though. Just because it wasn't, I don't know why. I think it was the mental fatigue of having all these things happening. And it was like some extra this and this and that. And secretly I was hoping to find out what it would take to do those things or whatever.
Yeah.
Tunnel vision. My fault. Number 2, I had an allergy on the table. Not only was it an allergy, it was an unyielding person that was willing to accept where I was directing them. Mm-hmm. Normally not a big deal, but it felt very contentious. Oh, all of this stuff is boring. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. Listen, when you have and
what was the allergy?
Garlic.
Oh, that's a hard allergy.
That I know because I have that in my family.
Yeah.
Everything comes with garlic.
Yeah.
So, when you have an allergy or a sensitivity or something like that, and you're unwilling to bend, or it makes it tough. Here's the tough part. She's telling me, oh, I have an garlic allergy. I want this dish. And just due to the preparation,
Yeah, when you prep, it's for people out there, when you're in a kitchen and you're working with large amounts of people and just the service as a whole, when things get prepped, it gets prepped all for that whole day.
Yes,
so
all
when
across
you
the board.
need something that's, directly, like me and you talked about the same thing that day. I had a table that had a no pepper allergy. Mm-hmm. And I go, that's, just like garlic.
Yeah.
Black pepper is in almost everything. Salt and pepper is in almost anything you're cooking in a kitchen.
So it's not even listed. It's so common.
Exactly.
Just assume it's there.
Just assume it's there. And so with that, you're going to, when you have to, that means that meal has to be created almost from scratch, people. Mm. And then that also includes time.
Yes.
That includes extra pep. That throws off a whole person's situation. Now, unless your chef themselves are going to go back there and make it for you so it doesn't throw off the rest of the kitchen, then you're pretty much in a bind.
All right. So I neglected to tell you more backstory.
Okay.
That very day, I was made an example of for making substitutions.
Oh, wow.
The day before. Okay? The very day.
You were already on the hot block?
I was already on the hot block. I was already on the list. I was on the list. I was that guy.
How are you that? What did you do?
Man, it seemed, here's the thing. We did was it a meme or a clip or something like that? Did you forget how to say no? No, listen. It's not about just saying no. I only say no to things that I know absolutely that isn't no. It seemed innocent enough for me. Mm-hmm. I don't want to overstep my bounds and say, "Oh, you could do it. You could do it. You could do it." Yeah. That's not what I even teach here.
Yeah.
And so it seemed
normal. It seemed in the realm of normalness.
Yes. Right. Now, here's the thing. It could have been fine, but it wasn't. I was made an example of, hey, if you're going to do that, you can't do this. Now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know. We're in a bit of a transition where we still have the same head chef, but our sous chef, he went to be a head chef somewhere else and things like that. And so everything there is in flux. Mm-hmm. It's really, as we're taught,
stuff that was normal before is a little different right now.
It's always a moving target.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I don't want to say in almost any restaurant, because not every situation comes up all the time.
True.
You're not on every shift. Mm-hmm. So then if we're not meeting up and saying, hey, these parameters and these
things change so fast and so often in a restaurant.
Yes.
Because one day it could be a problem and the next day it's not.
Let there be a problem with a guest.
Yeah.
And let the right manager or GM or whatever gets changed.
Like that.
Oh, okay, for instance, what happens when a guest doesn't like a dish? We've been told several times, take it from the person. Mm-hmm. We've been told several times, wait for a manager to take it.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah. Which way am I going with it?
Which way? And so, not blaming. It's fine. I could take it. He told me. Now I know. So that's the backstory. I'm already nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous because I'm like, hey, I don't want to be that guy.
Again.
Not only do I not want to be that guy ever, I don't want to be that guy again.
Yeah. Double radar.
Double radar.
You're in the crosshairs.
It's
at that
not
point.
good.
It's not good.
And this is something that people don't understand. They don't need to care. Honestly, I'm not asking them to care. That's my situation. Mm-hmm. That's our situation. That's internal and things like that. But I felt that I was being put in a very uncomfortable situation for me to handle, because they weren't necessarily under the premise that I was there to help them.
Yeah.
Okay? For you telling me what you can and can't do, I then should be able to say what we can and can't do, and they weren't accepting it. This dish, it wasn't even that it would take that long. This is my second point. It's not like it's prepped all across the board that way.
Got you.
Okay? It's not about starting with you want this piece of fish, it's crusted. And I said, when you have something crusted, it's not crusted fresh. You don't crust stuff fresh. It needs to stick to it. Mm-hmm. It needs to be wrapped on top of it and things like that. And that's where, otherwise, there's no crust. It's going to fall off at the slightest bump or jolt. It just happens that way.
Absolutely.
So I said, listen, the way that's prepared, blah, 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 that this is not the dish for you.
Yeah.
It would be nice for you to choose something else. She goes off. So now the tension starts to rise because she doesn't want anything else. She just wants what she wants. So now I'm standing there, still not complete with the order. Everyone else ordered, including the linguine dish that I knew I shouldn't bring in the way that I should have, and I did it anyway, just to like, you know, you know, what am I going to do? And I have other stuff going on. So I said, seems like you need a little bit more time. So I go do my other stuff. And meanwhile, it's, oh, we need more of this. Oh, we need more of that. And then it may seem that it's my job to keep the waters full. It's my job if that's my job.
Yeah.
But it's not. Okay? So then if they're not doing that and I'm off doing that, there's other things that I'm not doing my job. If you tell me ahead of time, this is what, I'll have the waters next to me. You know, it's so then I have to go to the bus station to do stuff.
You weren't expecting to be doing that part of it.
Correct.
You were expecting to be doing your side of the agreement.
There you go. And there's now the wheels are starting to come off the bus, okay? She's aggravated, okay?
Both?
Well, you know what? I've really come to find ways to not take things personal.
Yeah, you can't.
You know, I've really found ways to understand that this is my position.
The problem is we're always going to take a little personal in the beginning, but then we have to learn, like you said, you learn how to let it go a lot quicker than most people would.
I've been in this business so long, I used to take things personal. Unless you threaten me physically, it doesn't matter to me.
It's not that serious, yeah.
It really doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is how I spend my time and energy. Mm-hmm. You know, it's one of the reasons why I do meditate, so I can take a hold of my mind, body, and emotions. Other than that, I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
So I was just, and this is what I'm going to admit to you, is why I believe my perception at the table was not good for them, is that me keeping my calm felt to them that I didn't care.
Ah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not being emotional. I'm not going, oh my God, or whatever, because one of the things that she kept saying was, well, can you check? Okay, here's the issue.
I already know the answer.
Yes. So then normally what we do is say, oh yeah, we'll check, and we walk around. I didn't have time for that.
Yeah. I know the answer. I've been here long enough. I'm not just starting off. It's not my first week, my first month, my first year.
Yes.
This is my restaurant. Okay. I know I've been here for a while. I've already dealt with this chef for long enough that I'm not going to waste your time or mine.
100 times I know the answer.
Yeah.
But that is where things fall off.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking that I'm not going to check because I don't care about you. I don't care
I want you to
enough
have what you want.
check. But remember, that's not the premise for them. They think I'm just trying to just be whatever. Here's the thing. People carry around them with their experiences from other places, or their projections onto what
they think it should be like.
Yes, and so that was my failing. I did not have the time to go even pretend for her. I had already been there 3 times to try to take this order, which I took except for her, and she already was aggravated about stuff. So I could have done a much better job pretending, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have time for pretending.
Yeah. You hit it with the truth and they didn't like it.
Yes, the show must go on.
Yeah.
I know the answer. I was like, I said, I don't have to check. I know. I'm telling you, I want to keep you safe. You know, X, Y, Z. And there, it was between that and another dish. And she was choosing that other dish. And I said, I'm quite certain, not only that it could be done without, but, you know, on that I'll check. Oh, check on the other one. And I said, I don't have to check on that one.
I already know.
Like, because I didn't want her to raise her like.
You want to get her hopes up.
No, not at all.
You wanted to be honest with him.
Yes.
And I feel you.
Yeah.
But you should have just, like you said, walked away.
Yes.
And when you went to go check on the other one, you should have just lied and said, yeah, like I said.
100%.
Like I said before, you can do this one, you can't do that one.
Yeah. I told him. He thought about it.
Yep.
He mulled it over. He discussed it with the other. He had a meeting with everybody, and he thought about you, lady, and ultimately he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I tried. And that's the theater that I need to keep in mind. But the circumstances were I had a responsibility to my other tables.
Yeah.
Me walking back and forth for that one thing would be walking by all my other tables that need stuff, that need presence, that need reassurance that, hey, this is nice. You need that boxed up, or you need to pour that other wine. You need to order other people. That was the thing. So that to me is a big that's almost unavoidable.
It is.
You know what I mean?
And sometimes you just have to take that L on that table and know that it's gonna happen. Okay, and take care of everybody else, and be like. That's when you go, yes, you still try to go back and you try to fix it after the fact.
Yes.
But the initial still has to be the rest of the world. Because the world has to spin.
The world has to spin.
And if you can please 99% of the people, that 1% is still going to be, it is what it is.
Yes.
Collateral damage.
And you are psychic because you're reading, this is what is happening at this point now. Now it's time to actually... move things along no matter what, okay? And so, whilst I can't fire this food because she's not done or satisfied. So, we finally land her, and it seems to be her son is piping up now from across the table. Why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? Blah, 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 blah. And I said, sir, we're perfectly fine here. She landed on the sea bass. And we just have to stick the landing here. We just have to finish this thing off, We gotta bring it home now. So now all this time they're finished with their appetizers. All this time has passed because
now they've been there for a while.
Yes. So now they're not realizing all these other things. Nothing is even getting started yet. Okay, nothing is being started yet because we have to complete this thing in its entirety so that we can move along.
We need a choice.
Yeah, we need a choice.
If there's no choice, there's no food sent.
So now we get the no garlic. Now she doesn't want the stuff that comes with it. Okay? Now she doesn't want the stuff. Now it's a hot negotiation on, I want this. And the things that she wants are a medley and will require the picking out of stuff. Okay? Which I went to the chef. Please. Just, whatever. And he said, no problem. No problem. All right?
The order's still not in?
Huh?
The order's still not in yet?
Now, after I check with that, now I complete. Now I put her because she's the last one. Now I put the thing in.
And you fire.
And then I fire. Okay. Now I'm remembering the sequence of the situation. Now it's going. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's not fired yet because the linguine. He reported back to me, we can't do it because we're adding all this other stuff that's not even in the dish, whatever. No problem, okay? Took a chance, no problem. Went back to the guy, said, you can have this, blah, blah, blah. Because he wanted to change the sauce. He wanted to do the sauce this way and da-da-da. And then I said, da-da-da. He wanted to exchange things in there.
There's no exchanging.
Well...
Yes, there is, but there's not.
Yes, there is, but there is not. Here's the thing. I know that the truth of the matter is the guests don't care.
They don't.
Just make it happen.
Yeah.
But my failing, again, is assuming that you're not going to want what it's going to take. So then when price comes up and you got to add on from a $30-something dish and now it's going to be twice as much because you wanted to put stuff in, they don't know what stuff costs. If you're taking off mussels and this, that costs whatever per pound, and you're putting on scallops and that, they see items, they don't see food costs and things like that, nor should they. And so with this guy now, I'm telling him what we can do. Here's what we can do.
For an even exchange.
Even if you're taking stuff off, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, we don't just put things in when you take stuff off.
You're stopping the kitchen. There's labor involved. There's all this stuff, and we're here to make money.
You can, what is it? Omit. You just can't. We're not switching.
Yes.
Omit all you want, but don't think you're gonna get more of or this or that of. We're gonna make the dish look like the dish. It's still gonna be good. But don't be counting things inside the dish now.
Yeah, as you change things. The less control you have.
Yes.
It's up to the discretion of the chef or the kitchen or who have you. Mm-hmm. And so, again, son starts, why can't you take that off and this and that? Da, da, da. Now they're arguing with me, which is not my position. I can only report. Again, can you check? And I was just told.
You look like a deer in headlights right now.
I'm like, I was just told what we can and can't do. But
I did check. I checked.
I put it in the way you
asked for it.
And
they told me no.
They told me no. They told me what they can do or willing to do or whatever. Now, things are sideways because I'm being argued with. When does that happen? How am I not your ally? So I politely said, I'm very uncomfortable, which I was. Because
when did you go get the manager? Did you get the manager yet?
Now I'm getting the manager.
Okay.
Because this is not my job.
Yeah.
It's
now,
like...
This is at that point...
I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
I'm here to help you. Help me. Help you. Okay? So now I'm being attacked for helping you. I'm actually the one getting stuff done. Okay? And so...
Poor Marlon.
Wow. I want to tell you, get very bad. I'm like sitting there going, is this happening? Am I being punked? Where's the camera?
Ashton! Come out, Ashton!
Ashton Kutcher got me. So now, I have all the words usually. And I said, I think, let me just get the manager. I get the manager. And so here's yet another thing that goes sideways. He goes over there and the manager we all should have the same job. Let's put it this way. Yeah. The big should. The kitchen, the front of house staff, and the management should all have the same job. We're here to serve the guests.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, there's a certain amount, and I've said this on the show before, there's a certain amount of service that is a part of your coworkers and the company and things like that. If our company doesn't make money, we close our doors.
Yes.
Okay? If our staff doesn't show up, we don't give good service. So it's like, it's reflexive. Mm-hmm. You don't serve the company, the guests at the behest of the company.
Yeah.
Company has to make money, people have to be in the building. And so, but you also have to serve the guests because without the guests...
The guests of the business, yeah.
Yeah. We have no business.
Yes.
So the manager says, we're going to make it happen. So I'm like, okay, make it happen.
Did you walk away from it?
No, not at this point, because we're making it happen.
Okay.
Chef ain't on board. Chef's not having it. Because now it's like, I don't know why his reasons. I mean, we can have him on and then we can talk about that, But it's...
now at that point, that shouldn't be your issue. That should be the management with the chef. If they don't want to deal with it, that becomes the management's issue. Then they have to go back to that table. That should be the way that you should be worrying about at this point in our standing for what we do. Like I said, you got to let him go. Okay, that's almost his problem now. Now I'm gonna go deal with my other four tables because they need to be 100% so we can at least get 80% of this storm. Okay. Happy, and let the 20% that's here right now is going to be what it is. Yes. It's their job to fix that for you. That is what they're there for.
There's a lot. You just said a lot there. And what it really boils down to is there's a way to fix it.
True. 100%.
The way to fix it isn't to give away free stuff.
True.
And empower people.
And you don't have the ability to give away the free stuff.
No, I'm not saying it was me. I'm just saying at this point.
But that's what they're going to do.
What I'm leading up to is that because the manager made it happen with such ease, they now
think that they can do it whenever they want.
Listen to what I'm telling you. I get back to the table, the guy's now yelling at me.
Oh, no.
Okay?
No, that's not happening.
Now he sees how easily possible it was. He thinks now that I didn't do anything for him. He yells at me and tells me that, what did he say?
The son?
Yes.
Oh.
He goes, I wrote it down. He goes, you're unprofessional, you're arrogant, and you were unwilling to help us from the start. Unwilling to help from the start.
Told you sometimes you got to deal with the 1%.
Now,
I probably wouldn't even say anything because I might have just walked away. Okay, bye.
No, well, at that point, when I'm getting yelled at, that's not my job.
Yeah.
I don't take abuse from anybody, but I'm also not going to sink the interest of the restaurant So I go up to the manager and I said, hey, I think somebody else is going to have to finish this table.
Yeah.
Not because of me, I can handle almost anything. But if we're going to turn this table around, because now if he's doing it with such ease and without even charging, hey, I could charge you for the scallops, I could charge you for the this or whatever the case may be.
And even if he, like, this is what should have been said. This is, we do charge them, but because we're already having, if he doesn't want to charge them, you let them know that is still the standard. I am still charging you, but I'm going to void this part off for this moment. But the next time you come in this restaurant and you want it that way, trust me, it'll be double the charge. Because now you know from the beginning, because you didn't know from the beginning. And now you're getting away with this one time. You're giving this pass, but you're not getting a real pass because you need to understand the way this place works.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Now at this point, the manager comes back and he says, what about the lady with the sea bass? I go, sea bass is fine. Like, all you deal with is the linguine, sea bass is fine. I don't know what was said, whatever. Lost in translation of all the
other stuff?
All the other stuff, because there was a lot of stuff.
So they went, I could kind of see what happened. So now they come over, so you're not at the table, this manager's at the table, and they're like, well, we couldn't get this, we couldn't get that, we wanted it like this, and now he's just completely caving on you.
Yeah, now he's, because he wants to make everybody happy.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you can't make everybody happy that didn't come here to be happy.
Yes.
Right? Whatever, that's just my opinion. I'm allowed to have it.
Absolutely.
Okay? So whatever happens, food comes out, and I dropped the ball. There wasn't cutlery on the table. Right? So then that's when he went off on me about, like, I'm not willing to help and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, you lose your eyes when you don't, like...
You're already under attack.
When your eyes are down to, like, just find the mini, the basic stuff, you don't see the big picture, right? You just don't, because I've been back and forth in the kitchen trying to sweat my nuts off not to be castrated from the back and not to be castrated from the front. That's a very difficult situation to be in. Mostly I'm able to handle it. But now, I don't really want to piss off, like... I don't want my whole section thinking I'm a terrible server.
You don't want to piss off anybody else.
Yeah. So then, no problem. Boom, boom, boom. I'm right there. Marking station's right there. Boom, 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 boom. And so that's when somebody, because now sea bass comes out wrong. Lost in translation. Lady gets up from the table. I don't want to eat this. I don't want to eat this. Da, 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 da. So the manager's like, oh, all we have to do is X, Y, Z. It takes 2 seconds, blah, blah, blah. She is just... a tornado of hate.
Who hurt you?
I know. It's like it's a meal. I guarantee you're gonna eat again.
It's just food, people. It's not that serious.
So then there is my second, me keeping my composure.
Makes you look bad again?
It makes me look like I don't give a crap.
I get it.
And that's the thing. I know people want a human in front of them that they project as caring and things like that. And so I am just a person that I want to be able to see all the angles. I really do. I want to be able to see what else. If I end up with tunnel vision, I would have dropped my other tables. I really would have. Okay? And I really thought that I was doing an all right job with them, despite of how much
other stuff. Yes.
And things are going sideways, and the other people, I don't know what they thought. They were like, oh, yeah, can I get this? They're still participating. They don't want this to ruin their meal. So so I'm getting, another drink. I'm getting the refill on the butter and the bread and the this and the that, which I'm
fine with doing.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with doing. But when it turns into abuse, you don't have that. You don't have my permission to treat me badly at all. All I'm here to do is to disseminate to you what it is that I can and can't do. And it's not even me. I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand. There seems to be a divide between front of house and back of the house sometimes. I'm not saying all, but that's my generalization.
True.
There seems to be a divide.
There is
where
sometimes.
People think that it's our guests. Since we're getting a tip, it's our guests. They're your guests too. Your name is on this food.
Yes.
Your name is on the board. You are the chef. You are the person that we're all, your salary doesn't get paid by some mysterious person.
Those people out there are paying.
Those people out there are paying. They're your guests too.
Yeah.
So why is it that I'm getting a weird vibe that I'm trying to take care of your money as well? The servers handle all the money, not for themselves, but for the restaurant.
We're in sales.
If I'm not good at sales, if I'm not good at relations, it bodes badly. First of all, I'll get fired. But second of all, that comment is going to live in infamy, okay? And throughout the whole horrible, no good thing, I never blamed them besides being challenging. Mm-hmm. The guest is always going to be the guest. The customer is not always right, but the customer is always the customer.
Guest. Absolutely.
Right? And so if you tell me that, we can do XYZ, I'm going to package that.
Yeah.
That's what I have to sell. I can't sell what I can. And I tried. I tried to sell what I
tried to sell what you couldn't. That package was not real, and you tried to sell it, and it backfired on you.
It sure did. It sure did. And so
what could you have done differently from the beginning?
And I've thought about this. What I could have done differently from the beginning was to really pretend to
first fake it till you make it.
First, fake it till you make it. A little bit more expression, and I could have really walked away and did the dog and pony. Mm-hmm. I will check and things like that. I could have done that differently. Secondly, I should not have rang in the linguine that way. I shouldn't even give him any hope.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have at all. I should have done what I knew that I was supposed to do, but I also didn't know I couldn't do that the day before.
I didn't know I couldn't do that.
You know what I mean? So it was just like, sure, you know?
Yeah.
And then thirdly, I really could have had less of tunnel vision.
Okay.
Remarking the table, making sure that everybody else at the table.
Now, the tunnel vision came because of all these other things as well.
Yes, but it's still my responsibility.
No, you're right. I'm just
it came from all that stuff because now this is clear and present.
Yes.
Allergies are always clear and present. And so I didn't care what she ate as long as she didn't eat garlic in it. If she ate garlic in it, I'm done for.
Yeah.
So that was my clear and present. I care if you like your meal and enjoy it, but then if you're ranting and raving about all this stuff is boring and things like that, you're really
your diet's boring.
It's not that. What it is the mindset then is that you're, regardless of the garlic or not, she could have chose anything to modify.
Yeah.
So then coming in with it's almost like she didn't want to be there. Like, this is boring.
Why are you here?
Okay. Then so if you took the garlic allergy out, that's how I look at things, right? What would you have ordered? So if you have that mindset, what is it that can I do?
Yeah.
And that's the answer to what I could have done better. Right? Mm-hmm. I could have led her to something, but when you're so specific with, I want this but not that and this and that and you need to not be in a restaurant.
You've already limited me way too much. In the end.
And it was the time too.
Yeah.
If you're going to make a decision, either make a decision off screen and then bring me back. But if I'm standing there and then you're engaging me with the thing, that's really it's like abusive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you need me there.
They
need
took
this
you away
attention
from the rest of your section. All these things you could be taking care of where you could have saw when they needed this. When you could have saw because you took a step away.
Yes.
Instead of just being at the table.
Instead of being at the table, and there's they're the most difficult people to wait on are the ones that try to dictate how things are going to go.
Flow. Yes.
When you're going to pour So for champagne at brunch, we pour. No one goes there and thinks that we skimp on the champagne. But when you're tapping your glass and you only drank a quarter of it, you know what I mean? That's abuse on you. That's abuse on me. You don't have to tell me that. Yeah. I take care of that.
Yeah.
If you sit for a second, you don't have to ask for bread. It's gonna come.
Yeah.
No one. Very, very rarely do we miss those things. So then, do I want to sit there and point at a guest and say you're the reason why you got bad service? I have a part in that too because that's why they hired me.
Yeah.
I'm a professional. I could deal with 95, 98, 99% of situations. And so then the other ones that you can't, you learn from them. Mm-hmm. So if they sit in front of me again, it's really, I don't know if it would have gone much better, honestly. It would have gone a little bit better, but it was a challenge, man. It was just the time and pressure. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to not have, so if you count that 9 top, how many other people would I be disappointed equally is probably 9. 6 over here, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 other people depend on me. Yeah. They came, they spending money too. It was tough. It was tough, and that's why we like to discuss these things. Yeah. Have you had a challenging table on your journey?
Other people, yes. All my other servers out there listening, bartenders, all of the above.
Yes.
Have you had something just put you in the ringer?
Yes. And what do you think I should have done differently? And, let me know. You can email me, themodernwaiter@gmail.com, or follow me on Instagram @themodernwaiterpodcast. It's pretty simple. Mm-hmm. And I know that you're listening to us, either watching us and listening on YouTube. You can consider subscribing. Do subscribe. It does help people like you find us. Give this video a like. And if you're just listening, throw down a favorable review. It really helps us out. We'd like to know where we're going with the show. People write us all the time. I do, and I almost write back instantly. I always have that thing in my hand. So thank you so much for joining us. And I believe that we're going to talk about, the lies that servers tell pretty soon. And I'm Marlon Joseph, the Modern Waiter.
I'm Danny DeVille. Subscribe, people.
We'll see you next week.
Later.
Oh, now you want to come sit down.